Nicki Minaj is once again making headlines, and once again, it's not for music. The superstar rapper has narrowly avoided being forced to sell her $20 million Hidden Hills mansion, but the fallout from the case is far from over. Now the attorney on the other side of the lawsuit is going public, branding Minaj's behavior cruel and hypocritical, accusing her of dodging responsibility for years while using her platform to attack marginalized communities. So, what actually happened? Why was her mansion nearly put on the auction block? And why is this legal battle reigniting backlash against Minaj right now? Let's break it all down. Nicki Minaj will not be forced to sell her Hidden Hills estate, at least for now. According to court filings, Minaj paid a $503,000 judgment, bringing an end to a motion that could have resulted in the forced sale of her home. That motion had been filed by the legal team representing Thomas Weidenmuller, a security guard who sued Minaj and her husband, Kenneth Petty, over a violent incident that allegedly occurred in Germany in 2020 during Minaj's world tour. Once the payment cleared, the plaintiff's attorney formally withdrew the request. But while the legal mechanism may be closed, the criticism is only getting louder. The case stems from an alleged assault in Germany involving Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, and Weidenmuller, who was working as a security guard at the time. According to court records, Weidenmuller claims he was attacked by Petty during the tour. In 2024, a Los Angeles judge awarding Weidenmuller $503,000, not after a trial, but because Minaj and Petty failed to respond to the lawsuit. Court documents state that Petty allegedly left Germany shortly after the incident and avoided being served legal papers for years. That failure to engage with the case is a major reason the judgment escalated, and why the court later considered forcing the sale of Minaj's home to collect payment. In November 2025, Judge Cindy Panico issued a clear warning. If Weidenmuller was not paid, the court would consider authorizing the forced sale of Minaj's mansion. The judge also ordered Minaj's legal team to produce mortgage records from Bank of America, showing how much of her $13.3 million home loan had been paid down since she purchased the property in 2022. At that point, the case shifted from a legal dispute to a very real threat against Minaj's assets. The rapper's team was scheduled to appear in court again this week. Instead of fighting the motion, her lawyers informed the judge that the judgment had been fully paid. As a result, the motion to force the sale was withdrawn. On paper, the issue was resolved, but for the plaintiff's attorney, the damage had already been done. Attorney Paul Sasso didn't hold back. Speaking with Mirror US, he accused Minaj and Petty of hiding from accountability for years, saying wealth and fame should not excuse violence or avoidance of legal responsibility. But Sasso's strongest criticism wasn't just about the lawsuit. It was about how Minaj has used her platform while the case was ongoing. He accused Minaj of attacking marginalized communities while avoiding responsibility for what he described as real-world harm. That comment came after a December post on X by Minaj, in which she criticized political rhetoric involving transgender children. While Minaj has not responded publicly to Sasso's remarks, the contrast between her online commentary and her legal situation has fueled renewed backlash. Nicki Minaj may have saved her mansion, but the controversy surrounding this case isn't disappearing. For critics, the question isn't whether she paid the judgment, it's why it took years, court threats, and a possible house sale to make it happen. And as legal dust settles, public scrutiny around Minaj's platform, politics, and accountability appears far from over. This, especially since Minaj has gone vocal with her support for U.S. President Donald Trump and his policies, while showering praises on the Trump administration.
In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned. Families have been torn apart, and entire communities live in fear constantly, simply because of how they pray. I would like to thank President Trump for prioritizing this issue and for his leadership on the global stage in calling for urgent action to defend Christians in Nigeria, to combat extremism, and to bring a stop to violence against those who simply want to exercise their natural right to freedom of religion or belief. And I want to be clear, protecting Christians in Nigeria is not about taking sides or dividing people. It is about uniting humanity. Nigeria is a beautiful nation with deep faith traditions and lots of beautiful barbs that I can't wait to see.
And what do you think about for young men? For young men.
And for young men, don't be new scum. Yes, see, dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
Trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine.